from which subject you will be seeing about this Lokayuktas directly in your syllabus? Okay, polity from GS paper 2. Apart from this polity, is there any subject where you can see this Lokayuktas? Huh? Not governance in GS paper 4. In GS paper 4 ethics, you will be seeing this topic. And in that ethics classes, I also discussed about what is this Lokpal and Lokayuktas Act very detailed because they are anti-corruption units. So did we discuss this corruption chapter? So did corruption is there in your ethics? That means there, whatever the bodies which are against corruption in our country, we might be discussed, right? So there you will see about this Lokayuktas and Lokpals. Okay, so from these two subjects we will be dealing this, right? Okay, now tell me, so Lokayuktas are at which level? Okay, state level. That means what is the body which we have at the central level? Lokpal. So Lokpal is an organization at the central level, and at the state level we have Lokayukta. So what are the dimensions you have to see is, the first important one is you have to see history of this Lokpal and Lokayuktas in India. So Lokpal and Lokayuktas, that we took the concept from which country? Which country? Is that originated in India? No. So we borrowed from some other country, that is Scandinavian countries. In Scandinavian countries, the concept was ombudsman. So we borrowed this Scandinavian ombudsman and we came up with this concept of Lokpal and Lokayuktas in our country. Okay, so here if you see the history of this formation of this Lokpals and Lokayuktas in our country, first we got this concept from the Scandinavian ombudsman. After that, even ARC, Administrative Reforms Commission, also recommended that we need to have this kind of organization which should act against corruption in our country. Okay, so after that we came up with this Lokpal and Lokayuktas Act. Can you tell me in which year and who was the person behind this Lokpal and Lokayuktas Act? Anna Hazare. So Anna Hazare led movement that led to this formation of this or passing of this Lokpal and Lokayuktas Act in our country. So what is the year? 2000? Forgot. Very good. Okay. So after this, we came with establishment of Lokpals and Lokayuktas in our country. But before passing of this act itself, in 1971, Maharashtra established this Lokayuktas. That means before passing this act itself, we had this concept of Lokayuktas at the state level. So this is the history that you have to know. And apart from this, you are supposed to know about what are the provisions of this act, and you have to see the features of this Lokayuktas, and you have to see members, and you have to see appointment process, and you have to see what are the challenges faced by these Lokayuktas now, and you have to see way forward. So all these are the dimensions that you are supposed to know from this article point of view. And now let us see this in detail. So actually this Lokayukta, it is Indian Parliamentary Ombudsman, and it is executed into power through and for each of the state governments of India. So we have Lokayuktas at the state level, and the central level we have Lokpals. And actually it is anti-corruption authority. And the important objective of this Lokayukta, it is to make investigation of grievances and allegations of corruption against public servants. So you are going to be the future public servants, right? So you have to be very much careful with this Lokpals and Lokayuktas, because these are the bodies that will be doing investigations on any allegations on you in the future. So what is the origin? As I said, we drawn this Lokayuktas and Lokpal concept from ombudsmen of Scandinavian countries. And even ARs, that is Administrative Reforms Commission 1966 to 1970, also recommended for the creation of this Lokpal at the center and Lokayuktas at the state. And before passing this Lokpal and Lokayuktas Act of 2013, see the year 2013, even before that also we have this concept of Lokayuktas in India. So Maharashtra was the first to have this Lokayukta body in year 1971 itself, way far. Okay. And if you see the appointment, so these Lokayuktas and Upalokayuktas, they will be appointed by governor, not by the president, because it is at the state level, right? So here governor of the state is authority for appointing of this Lokayukta. Okay. And while he is making appointment for this Lokayukta, he have to consult somebody. First one is Chief Justice of that state high court, and next one is leader of opposition in that state legislative assembly. So these two persons need to be consulted by governor before appointing this Lokayukta. And what is the tenure? Tenure is normally 5 years or till 65 years, whichever is earlier. And one more important point here is, if anyone who is appointed as Lokayukta, so that person will not be eligible for reappointment for that same office for the second term. So what are the issues? Actually, in our Lokpal and Lokayuktas Act, there is no clear legislation. Why? Because, so this act says that within 1 year, they have to appoint these persons, but there is no information regarding what is the makeup of this Lokayuktas or what are the powers for this and other features. That means if you are having only act which says that we need to have this Lokayuktas in every state, is that enough? No. So we need to have the clear-cut provisions regarding the what are their functions, what they have to do, what are the powers, what are the features, everything. That means because of this, these Lokayuktas, they don't have complete autonomy. So this is the one important challenge. And next one is, even there is a problem regarding resolution of cases. So one of the major challenge which is faced by this Lokayukta is there is delay in investigation and resolution of complaints. Here it is at state level. So here Lokayuktas, it is entirely dependent on the state government for funding and as well as infrastructure. So because of this, whenever any organization which is dependent on the government or state government, for example, then there will be interference of the government in the functioning of this Lokayuktas, right? There is no autonomy. So again, this is one important problem. Because of that, there is no independence for this Lokayuktas. So this is second important challenge which is faced by Lokayuktas now. So what can be done? So we have to strengthen the law, that is Lokpal and Lokayuktas Act, so that we can ensure that so proper provisions are given in this act. That will be helpful for giving of more autonomy, more power for this Lokayuktas to investigate and prosecute the cases against corruption. Okay, and even we have to include Chief Minister and as well as judiciary into that, so that there will be no proper interference of government. And next one is, we have to ensure adequate resources and even staff. Infrastructure, funding and staff is very important for the maintaining of proper work culture. That thing we discussed in our ethics class. So we have to ensure that. And next one is, we have to ensure accountability and transparency for this Lokayuktas, so that we can ensure proper functioning of this organization. So this is about this topic in detail.